ready to fight for your loved ones? Yeah! I don't hear you. Are you ready to fight for your loved ones? Yeah! Well, let's go. Be loud and be proud all day long. Let's go, y'all. Let's do this. Let them go. 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 I need you guys to stand here and fight with me. Let the officers know. Stand behind the yellow line. You guys keep behind the yellow line. You have every right to be here standing for a loved one. Speak for them. Yep. I need the officers to know that we're just fighting for our loved ones. I need y'all to understand that when they're hurting, we're hurting too. It is not fair that they're in there with the COVID and our loved ones, that they're being treated the way that they are. Because if it was your loved one on the other side, you'd be out here with me. So I need you to understand that I'm not just fighting because it sounds good. I'm not just fighting because it looks good. I'm fighting because I have a cause, because I'm tired, because I'm sick. And I'm not the only one, obviously, that feels this way. Because if it was your son, your mother, your daughter, your husband, your cousin, you would fight with me too. That's right. I need y'all to understand that we're not out here because it's, what is today? Thursday. It's not a Thursday. We're not out here because it's Thursday. Sorry, your mom was messed up. I'm human, but I'm gonna get there. We out here because we believe in something greater. And if I can fight, I'm gonna fight. If I wake up in the morning and I know my husband is in there, I'm gonna be his voice. I wrote a whole song about it because it's what I believe in. And I will not be shut down. And my voice will get heard, and I'm hella loud, so y'all finna hear me. Straight up. That's right. Anybody else got something to say? Anybody else want to speak? Because I got a big mouth, I'll do this all day. First of all, I'm gonna say good morning, COs. Good morning. Put it to your mouth. You ain't serious. Alright. Gotta have a little humor. I just want to tell everybody thank you and good morning. I appreciate everybody coming out and supporting this. Supporting our loved ones. fighting. You guys all have already let my name out there and stuff, you know, and I cry every time I speak, you know, because it matters to me.
We're here.
You know, I got loved ones in that prison, but I don't just stand here for my loved ones. I stand here, it's prison-wide. It's an issue. It's your issue too, because you've lost coworkers, you know. And I want to ask you, do you think Ralph Diaz cares about you? He doesn't. Where's he at? And you lost a coworker. Yeah, this virus does not discriminate. This virus does not discriminate. You know, a staff member, our loved ones incarcerated. CTF was doing just fine. They had no coronavirus in that prison, sir. Right. How did it get in there?
That's right.
No, our loved ones sit in there at a risk of dying, just like so many already have. When is too many lives enough? I'm not going to stand here and let my loved one go down with that virus.
That's right.
They've already been over-sentenced. The system is just morally corrupt. So if you can stand there with pride and know that you're doing a good thing, I respect your job. I really do. Because I have loved ones on both sides of that fence. And just like you have a loved one to go home to, so do our loved ones that are incarcerated. They've already been sentenced by the court. They weren't sentenced to die by the virus. So we're all here to stand today for our loved ones, to end mass incarceration.
That's right.
I don't care if they're non-violent or violent. What defines a violent offender? You know, really, what does define a violent offender?
Apparently hearsay, that's what mine's in there for.
But hey, 1064 passed yesterday, right? We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing for that.
That's right.
And the thing is, we need our sentences of our loved ones reviewed, whether they were violent or non-violent.
That's right.
Supposedly CDCR stands for rehabilitation. So let's show the rehabilitation that our loved ones have and give them a chance to go home. Not just the short timers. You got lifers in there, lifers, that have been sentenced for just some crazy non-violent offenses. You know? You gotta care about that. You guys gotta speak up about that too. I know I'm tired of it. I'm tired of just our loved ones' lives being wasted. And I keep saying this to everybody. You can tell me that you have not been affected by this, and I'll tell you, yet. Yet. Because today, tomorrow, you will be affected, one way or another. If you don't have a loved one incarcerated, this will affect you. The system will affect you sooner or later. I know. I live it every day. You know? I got several loved ones incarcerated. And like I said in San Quintin the other day, I have kids that it could happen to, and I don't want them to end up in the system either. We gotta keep standing up here for our loved ones. We gotta drop them enhancements. We gotta drop the LWOP.
That part.
Three strikers.
That part.
Youth offenders.
That part.
Yeah.
Review them all. Do not discriminate them by their sentences.
That's right.
And send them home. Close these damn prisons already.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Quit taking the money. This is a business. Governor Newsom needs to step up. So does Valpian, and so do these wardens. The wardens have the right to review these sentences and send them to the courts for resentencing on the 1170. They need to start doing it.
Yeah.
So again, I thank everybody for coming out here today. It's not easy. It's not easy. I know. I pulled off that freeway and broke out in tears. That's just who I am. You know, but I do that for pretty much every prison because they all matter.
That's right.
You know, they do. Just like our lives matter out here, so do theirs. Just because they're incarcerated doesn't mean they don't matter.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect.
That's right. I stand out here a free woman, and I am not perfect.
No,
I make mistakes all the time, but I can learn from those, just like our loved ones incarcerated can.
That's right.
You know, so again, I thank you, and let's just keep protesting. Does anybody want to speak right now? Besides Tia?
I'm gonna speak because I got a mouth.
I will always speak for our loved ones. And to be really, really honest with you, my husband isn't even in this prison. You feel me? But I'm going to keep fighting. Every protest I go to, I'm going to keep saying something. I will fight for my husband. I'll fight for your husband, your loved ones, whatever. Because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And what's happening right now is wrong. Completely wrong. And I know I'm not the only one that feels like this because I watch women come to all these their loved ones and they're writing on them, and it's a beautiful thing. People, they need to understand that when they're hurting, we are too. This is not just something that I'm doing because it looks good, because it sounds good. I love my husband. I want him home. He does over an accident that they proved in court. Now they give him life. He went in when he was 19. He will be 38 in December. They took his entire life away from him, and that pisses me the hell off. I will always be pissed off, because just like God gave us forgiveness, why can't we forgive them? Like, they bleed the same way we bleed. They breathe the same freaking air that we do. So why is it that they're in there? Why can't they just come home where they belong? Like I said, other protests, I'll be the warden. I'll make sure he gets his shower time and his phone calls. You feel me? So why can't he be at home with me? I'm a good person. I work a 9 to 5. I got my own shit. So does he. Because whatever I have, my husband has. And I will fight for him. Why? Because when I got married, God said that we are one. And when we become one, I am here standing for him as if he was standing here for me. And I know I'm not the only woman that feels that way about their loved ones. So I want somebody else to come up here and speak. Speak about how they feel about their loved ones. Speak about how they deal with that home. Speak about what's happening now. Because my voice isn't the only voice that is up here. There are a lot of you, and I want us all to share it. So little mama right here, I want you to come up here and say something.
My man's on the phone.
Okay. Okay, well.
That's
Go
okay.
ahead, you can put it on here.
Here, hold this.
want to speak.
Go ahead.
Well, we're all here together, and we're all here together, and it takes this unity to be heard. You know, and if we not stand together here, Monterey County Jail, wherever we have to go, your prison, we'll go there too.
Be there too.
You know,
Always.
always stand strong and know that we are going to be heard. And if we have to come out here a million times, we will come out here a million times. We're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. We're going to keep on going until everybody is where they're supposed to be, okay? Until they care, until they have compassion, until they're willing to do for what everybody needs, their needs in there, you know? So we're gonna stay together, and we're gonna be united, and we're gonna be heard. And I'm gonna let it go back to you because you're the loudest.
Okay, I want somebody else to come up here and tell me how they feel about what's going on. Is there somebody else, or do I don't want to have to call people. Because I mean, I understand. Come on, you guys have to represent for me and for mine. And like she said, if we show up at every prison, we show up at every prison. There's this one, the one my husband at is in Salinas on the 12th, and I'll be there. I'm going all the way to Chino. You feel me? That's 5 hours that way, and I'll be there.
Right here
and I will be
there. He's in Monterey County Jail.
There you go, in Monterey County Jail. I'll be there too. I will be at Calipat, and I will be at Ironwood. These are faraway places, but this is a movement. And I believe in this movement, and I want to be part of this movement. And of course, you're going to have the adversaries who are going to be against what you're doing, who's going to be against what we heard. But guess what? Martin Luther King went through it. Look at all the things that he had to go through because of something he believed in. There's Malcolm X. You feel me? There's a lot of them out there who believed in stuff, and they fought for it, and there was change. And I believe as long as we're together and we keep fighting, there will be change. We will be heard. And every time we have a pop-up prison, somebody's going to come and ask why. Why? Why are we doing this? And in that moment when we're questioning why is when we're going to hear our demands met. Where we're going to get our demands met. That's when people are going to hear us because of the why. And it's okay if you come out here and you cry. Because that lets you know that you have feelings. That your feelings are there. That you fight for your loved ones. So go ahead and cry. Let those tears come out. It proves that you're human. That you feel something. So go ahead, and I'm so happy that you guys are out here fighting with me, because I promise you if it was just me and Don, we would have been here by ourselves supporting our loved ones, because we both believe we are their voices, and I am my man's voice.
That's right.
Straight up, and I'm loud too. I am his voice because he cannot speak. She's her husband's voice. You guys are your loved one's voice. So what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong, and right now this is wrong. So it makes me so happy and warms my heart to know that you guys are out here fighting for their future. So yeah, they may be on lockdown right now, but guess what? What's one day to their future? What's one day to their future? They're on lockdown, okay, cool. But then tomorrow and the next day when they're able to come home, they came home because of us. Because we fought. Because what they're doing in there is ridiculous. COVID is in there. You're not even sanitizing things down, but you're letting my loved one go in there and eat with them? That pisses me the hell off. You letting my loved one go in there and shower with him, and then when he's sick and he's in the hospital, I can't even go see him, and I get a phone call that he passed away? There are women dealing with that every single day, and that's not right, because if he was out here, I could go visit him, so he's in there sick and I can't? You got me all the way twisted. You took my visits away because you put people in there because of a transfer. You knew these people were sick. You knew that they were dying, and yet still you put them in there with our loved ones. That is a death sentence, and I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that at all. You allowed them to come. You let your staff come in here that was positive. So how did it get inside? If they're locked down and they're inside prison walls, how the hell did COVID get in there?
Stop making excuses.
They're making excuses. Your staff put them in there. Your staff did that. And then, on top of that, you put them in and now it's spreading because of you. And Governor Newsom knew what the hell he was doing. And if I ever see that day, I promise, I voted for him and he can't even be here standing here with me right now. But I voted for you. Your job is to take care of your people. Where the hell are you? Oh, behind the fence. Behind the fence with your little staff and your police officers. What kind of man does that make you? To know that your people that voted for you are hurting and you're doing nothing about it.
That's right.
What kind of person are you? If I wasn't a Christian woman, if I was not a Christian woman, this is ridiculous. And we need to stand. If we don't stand for something, we'll fall for everything.
That's right.
You feel me? And I'm going to stand every protest. If I have to drive 6, 7, 8 hours and lose every dollar in my pocket, I will go. I've proven, I've been there, I stand up, y'all see me, and I'm not finna stop until all of our loved ones come home. And even after my husband comes home, I'm still gonna be there for your man, for your loved one. I'm gonna have him out here fighting. He tells me all the time, when I get out, I'm gonna fight with you. All right, baby, let's go, because I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. Neo said that right, you feel me? So I'm telling you, I'm a force to be reckoned with. I'm loud now, but wait till I get real, man. They ain't gonna see me then.
Be ready.
I'm gonna stop talking for a minute because I can keep talking. So here you go, down. I like it.
Who else wants to speak, you guys? We gotta speak up.
Anybody wanna
Come
say
on, you guys, we
something?
gotta
Come
speak
on,
up for our
ladies.
loved ones.
There you go.
You gotta
There
hold
you
them
go.
up. Girl, man, I don't want you to corona.
Alice, you bring the wipes.
Thank you.
You bring wipes. The wipes.
I have some spray. Hold on.
Yeah, let's use spray.
Have some in my car.
And I want you guys to continue to talk and stand up for your loved ones while we're here, guys.
What's the other one?
Just spray then. Yeah, that's enough. I don't want that.
Do you want to hold on to it?
Yes, please.
Pull in the street. People's lives.
So, when you put it up to your mouth, okay? I got you.
You got
Take your
it.
time. Take your time. Push the button all the time out when you're ready.
This is very hard. I've been on both sides of the fence, and only by the grace of God, I didn't change. I know, look, and I reach out, and I try to save the children before they end up here, making the same mistakes. And I work very hard. I am a Christian woman, and it hurts to see every day the way they treat these inmates, the way that they don't allow them to have a voice, and there's nothing that we can do about it from outside of here. And it's so hard, you know, it's really hard to see the way they're treated. But on the other hand, as a Christian woman, I have to keep my faith, and we have to stay. If we don't have faith, we have to find something to hold on to. Because it's only by faith and by our great hope and our unitedness with one another that we're going to get through this. Because it's going to take a greater person than who's in charge here that's going to get us through this.
Right.
And so we cannot give up. We have to continue to be there for our family. We have to be the voice. We have to continue to pray. We have to continue to connect with one another. We have to. We cannot walk away and just say because we were here, it's a done deal. It's not. And even when God is good enough to give us the grace to have our family members home and with us, we have to continue this mission. We have to continue because this is ridiculous. This is not the way our country was supposed to be. And for whatever reason, it's taken a twist. But us, as the people, we have to stand together and just come together and unite as one, no matter what. Everybody makes a mistake, but we have to forgive each other.
Right.
And until they learn that, nothing's going to change. And so we have to be their voice. We cannot give up. Our family, our loved ones that are back there have some dark times. I know that. My children, I have 2 boys in there. One has been there since he was 18 years old. He's now 38. That's his oldest son there. He left when he was a baby. And he doesn't, he didn't even get to see his son grow up. Because of one mistake. One mistake that he made. And it's just ridiculous. So please, everybody, we gotta come together. Just find your faith. Find the person. I pray to God every day. Just find it in your heart to continue to pray, to continue to change, to share your love, to support them. Do whatever it takes. Sign whatever petitions need to be signed. Do whatever needs to be done. But don't stop here. We got to keep going. And we got to let our loved ones know that we're not going to stop fighting for them. Because it's going to take us. Thank you for making me fight.
I'd like to speak.
Please do.
Yeah.
No, thank you for making me cry.
Thank you, Mama, for speaking.
Thank you, boo.
Good morning. Good morning.
There we go.
My name is Jessica. I'm here with my husband Jesse from the Brown Beret National Organization. And thank you. There's several reasons why we're here. I want to step away from COVID. I want to talk about mass incarceration. Now keep it short because I can be on this shit for hours. Because I've been researching.
Take your time. Take your time.
Since 2006, I witnessed the murder of an inmate by 7 sheriffs. He was handcuffed, and because he made a leg move that pissed off the sheriffs, they murdered him. And they did that in front of me because they thought I wasn't going to talk, right? Because brown people, we don't talk. We just sit back and we let them do shit to us because that's colonization. And I also come from a family of officers, one of which killed Petey Perez in Richmond. So yes, I am also on both sides of this bullshit. And it's time. 2006, I've been fighting that. This is the first time that I'm seeing some kind of movement, and it pisses me off that people, if it doesn't affect you, you don't come forward.
Yes. Thank you.
And if it wasn't for my testimony to the FBI, their excuse to the family was he died of an overdose. Let me tell you what they did. After killing him by a chokehold, they put him in a cell, dead. And they left me there to watch what they were doing. Every 20 minutes they came in and they did a fake medical check. They did that for 3 hours. On the 3rd hour, they called for medical. The medical team came and they tried to resuscitate a body that was dead for 3 hours. But what was shocking is how fluidly and with so much precision they all acted in this cover-up. I sat there thinking they must have been doing this like 1,000 times because they didn't even flinch. And it was just by happenstance that I happened to have a client at the time who knew the wife of the prisoner, and telling her the story, she said that they told the family that he died of an overdose, and I said no. He died in front of me, they killed him.
Oh my gosh.
So I was contacted, I gave my side of the story in spite of knowing that coming from a cop, a family of cops, that at that point I put a target on myself. But I had to do what was morally right. This man's daughter needed to know that he was murdered. His parents needed to know that he was murdered. And I put myself in harm's way so that they can have that justice. Imagine, people, come on, wake up. All of these cops, all of these cops in the streets, the only reason why they're getting caught is because there's video. Imagine what these fuckers do behind the walls when nobody is watching them. In that one investigation, they opened up an investigation at the jail. 10
That was the firefighter who said that, bro. That's what's up.
10 inmates were murdered in the same way that year. They settled with the family. I didn't even have to go to court. That's how quick Contra Costa County settled. So I'm angry that it isn't until this virus came along that people are getting involved. They claim that they died by suicide. They claim that they died by overdose. Nobody's watching them. There are 500,000 Americans that are incarcerated because they can't afford bail. They haven't even been convicted. They're not even guilty yet. But they're in there because they're poor.
That's right.
And they cannot afford to bail them out. The United States and the Philippines is the only country, the only two countries in the world that use the bail bond profit industry. You have to wake up. If there's any moral compass besides your personal stories and your connections, it's a humanitarian issue. Mass incarceration, prisons for profit should not be happening in the most powerful country in the world. And I just want to leave you with this, because this is where we all should be angry. These inmates, your loved ones, you're not the ones that went in and infected them. These staff went in. They brought it in. They go to their communities and they go to their families and they keep spreading the virus. So please continue even after, which I doubt this is going to be settled anytime soon, but we have to continue the fight. We have to continue bail. Get rid of bail. Thank you.
And thank you again for making me cry.
You want these tears, I promise.
Anybody else?
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
No, no, you gotta speak on that song.
Hold on, let me spray it for you, babe.
Hi, my name's Sitlali. I'm here, like a lot of you, because I'm sick and tired of the abuse. I'm sick and tired of the discrimination. I'm sick and tired of the community leaders judging our people instead of offering us resources. And I just want to say, this is why I say, sorry, fuck incarceration, give my homies a real education. Because they need that. They don't need the judgment. They need help.
Thank you. Damn it.
Instead of giving them a drug rehab if they have a problem, they just give them to the system. Why not, huh?
You in the red sweatshirt. Can you speak, hon? You don't want to speak? I just see his tears and it just kills me, you know, when this lady over here was speaking and just, gets me. Who else wants to speak? Because we all know Tia could go on and on and on, and that's great. Oh, spray. She got the spray. The other way. Not that way, the other way.
I'm not going to speak. They're going to run. There you go. Hello? Hello. I'm not going to speak for long, but I'm working with United Against CDCR. And we have a fact sheet about this prison, this facility, that I'm going to pass that out. I honor the families that have family members inside the prison. I'm not going to speak about myself, but I have correspondence with all the prisons, and this fact sheet is
very expensive.
the COs make $100K, each one of them make $100K. 7 of the 10 highest paid in the country are located in San Francisco. So I support these families. I support We Are Their Voices, and also on October 16th, we were going to have a rally in Sacramento to justify whether or not these COs are going to get like.
That's okay, take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time, we're here.
Good.
We're listening. Your ears are wide open.
Good.
I am working as an educator, and I give back to my community. These COs don't give a fuck about this community.
That's right, no, we don't.
I help and support these kids, these students, to not go into these facilities. What do the COs do? That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next? I want to kind of piggyback off of Jessica, I believe was her name.
Yeah.
It does go beyond today. It does go beyond the virus. The virus is a serious issue right now. And like she said, there's no way it could have gotten into that prison besides the staff. We keep losing loved ones. We just lost a loved one. I don't think it was yesterday, I think it was the day before. And it's just too many lives lost, you know. And like you guys know, I'm Dawn from We Are the Voices. We have United Against CDCR out here. And you don't have to have a label on you from a group. You just be yourself and you speak up for your loved one. But we have to keep pushing to end mass incarceration, period. It's not about the virus. It's not about what's going to happen tomorrow. It's about ending the prison system. It is a money maker across the board. So that's what We Are the Voices are doing. We're going to go to, well, we've gone to several prisons already. We got ladies down at Correctional today, hitting those prisons down there.
Yeah.
And I miss my girls out here today. Damn it, they left me out here. But that's okay, because we're hitting other prisons. We're coming together as one. It's time that so much has been done by organizations and groups, and I appreciate the work they've done. Believe me, I do. But there's so much more that we to be continued.
They wanted to interview Dawn so she can speak on the behalf of us, so I'm going to take over. I do want you all to speak because I believe that there is power in our voices, and that even though I feel this way, there are other people who are hurting too, and each one of you guys that are standing here are hurting. Like she said, this is just a money maker for the government, bro. Like, this is ridiculous. The more people they get in, the more money they make for them, the more our taxpayers have to use their money to support them. There are people in there who are innocent on life and on death row that don't belong here. So I want somebody else to come up here and speak, even if it's just to tell your man
It's not live, so you
or
can start
even
all over.
that's what you're fighting about. All of this
You said it's not live?
so I know I'm not the
I don't
only
like
one
being in
that
front
feels
of
this way. So somebody please come up and
Rolling, so
Come on,
you just get your first and last name how to spell it.
I just go by Dawn Marie.
Number.
Yeah, DAWNMARIE.
And you're from where you're from?
I'm from We Are the Voices.
Okay. And can you tell us what's going on here? Well, what brought you out here today?
Well, what we're doing right now from We Are the Voices, we have started a movement of wives, fathers, brothers, sisters, loved ones. You don't even have to have a loved one incarcerated. You're tired of the system and what goes on the system, within the system. So we are visiting every prison throughout California. Right now we have ladies out there at Corcoran, for Kern prison. We also have a women's protest going on at Chowchilla. So we're visiting every prison and speaking up for our loved ones, not just about the coronavirus, but to end mass incarceration and to have our loved ones' voices be heard. And then we're going to regroup back in October for another rally out of the Capitol.
what's the goal here? To get your voices heard, or
To have our loved ones' voices heard. You know, until you're really impacted by it or see what's really going on in the system, you can't stand here and speak up for them. We are asking for them to be released. We are asking for Governor Newsom, Ralph Diaz is who the Secretary of CDCR, to stand up and do something and let our loved ones go. I'm not asking you to open those gates and let them all go. I'm not. I know there's victims, and I know, but they're letting the lifers behind. They're not including the lifers to be released, and that's not right. They need to go over their sentences, review how they have been rehabilitated, because according to CDCR, they rehabilitate. So review their cases, review their sentences, and let them go home. There's men in there and women in prison that are doing life for some petty crimes. I know. I have loved ones in the system. And when they say, well, you just speak up because you're affected by it personally, I have loved ones that work in the system as well. So I see both sides of it. Those COs have loved ones to go home to, just like our loved ones have family to go home to. You know, so that's what we're doing. We're going to be out here. We're going to keep fighting for change in mass incarceration, change the laws, and just finally let, not as an organization, because we're not an organization, we're just, like I said, a group of people that care about the change, and let our voices be heard, because as incarcerated people, we know that they don't listen to them. The public doesn't listen to them. They feel that you did the crime, you did the time. That's not how it works. Let the punishment fit the crime.
Inmates up, and they were all black. All black. There wasn't any other race out there. They were all black men.
You know, I just ask that people really step back and be open-minded, because everybody is so quick to judge across the board.
Why would you even do that for what? What was there, 30 of them?
This situation, having a loved one incarcerated, having a loved one that inside, whether it's staff or incarcerated virus, can happen to you
150 black
anytime.
men.
Life, you never know what life is going to bring you, period. So I just ask people to really have some compassion and don't look at them as just a number, or as they call them, an inmate. They're not an inmate. They're our loved ones.
Ridiculous. And then the whole part about it is that they had to do it. There was no choice. They had to, like they're slaves.
So it was a group started by 3 ladies just recently, I think it was in June, and 2 more were added to the group. I'm one of the admins on the group. And we're coming together because a lot of times people feel that their voice isn't heard because they don't have a title, you know, and like I said, I have so much respect and appreciate everything that's been done by organizations, because we wouldn't be where we're at now with prison reform if it wasn't for them. But also people need to know that their voices are being heard. So we're supporting that. We're pushing people to come out and stand up for their loved ones, go to the Capitol, and that's what we are. We're men, women, incarcerated loved ones, or who are against what's going on in the system.
That's why we're out here fighting. We have another protest at the corner. As a 12th in Jacksonville, you guys want to make it there too, because my loud ass will be there.
We are, because there's been a mass sweep of coronavirus in there. So I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but there's over 180 people in that. And what happens is the jails are not following protocol. You know, I know. I just had a loved one go through the system of the jail. They put him in there, no hand sanitizer, it's filthy dirty, no mask. They put him in a cell together, you know, while they process their paperwork, and then they move him up into the jail. How do you think the virus is going to spread? And then the jail, the sheriffs or the people that monitor the jail system, they're not wearing masks. So that's how it spreads. So those, you know, incarceration is incarceration. And those people are going to end up being transferred here. They say that the number is below 100,000 people. Is it really? You know, CDCR put that out, that it's finally below 100,000 people. No, it's not. It's not. You have people waiting in all the jail systems. Once they start doing transfers, those are going to fill up these prisons again. You know, so we need to make a change and just close. I'm not saying close all prisons, but they need to close. It's a money maker.
Nobody has to be heard like I heard. There you go.
So we'll be out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi y'all, my name is Dean. What brings me out here is my dad was locked up from 95 to 99 in the California Correctional, state institution, and was bounced around all over the place. And seeing what it was like when he came home, and having to deal with, him getting woken up and what he's like when he gets woken up, or like him trying to, you know, make food and shit, not being used to like cooking for himself, and like remembering all of that, and knowing that, you know, it's a struggle to cook when you get out, and like wanting to do and help everybody and support everybody who has to, you know, deal with that once everybody does get out, and like how we're going to support each other through that, because it doesn't end here.
Alright, that's right. And baby boy over there in the red with the dog. I want to say that you are a very strong individual. I heard your mom's story, or your grandma's story about your dad going in when he was a baby. But you're still here fighting. And because you're here, that's what matters. And I just want to commend you for that. That you were very strong for that, because your dad will be coming home if I have anything to say to him.
That's right.
He will be home. All of our loved ones will be home. Come on, can I get somebody else up here and speak? Come on, you guys. I know you guys are all hurting too.
I have to go. I have a crying baby. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
Put your mouth up here, baby.
I'm so shy, guys. Excuse me. I don't even want to be a friend.
That's okay.
I want to cry.
Take your time, baby. Take your time.
You got it.
You got this. You got this, girl.
You're around the group that understands you.
Yes. Sorry. So, okay. My husband and I have been together for about a year. We've been married for like 2 years. No, I'm sorry. That makes no sense. I'm like, I can't even think. I'm so sorry.
All right, take your time, baby.
Long story short is, I'm married to my elementary school sweetheart. We have a almost 3-year-old. It is so difficult raising a child by myself. And he has to raise his daughter over a phone. The conditions that all these men are being treated like is just ridiculous. Weeks without showering, they have to be locked in their cells for days. It's ridiculous. It's lockdown after lockdown. No, sorry. Anyways, we just have to keep fighting.
That's right.
I don't know what else we can do, but we just can't give up.
That's right.
We have to show all these COs, whoever it is, Newsom, we have to show everybody. We cannot stop fighting. I am my husband's voice.
Woo, that's right.
We just have to keep fighting, guys. Don't give up.
Nope.
My husband has 2 life sentences. We are both 25 years old. There's no saying when he's coming home, but hopefully it'll be one day. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Anybody else want to speak on behalf of their loved one? Behalf of their loved one. Johnny, back, you got something to say? I'll just continue where I think I was at. Sorry, I got so much in my mind right now. But like I was saying, we're visiting every prison. I think I said that we got our girls out there at Corcoran, and then they're out at Chilla as well at the women's prison, because some of those stories you hear from the women's prison, it's just, it breaks my heart, you know. Not having any sanitary supplies for us women, and being mistreated by the COs, and just the living conditions. It kills me, you know. I wish I could do more, you know, but I think standing here today, it does make a big difference. We're gonna be out, let's see, next week, we'll be out at Solano and Vacaville on the 12th. I'm gonna be repping that with Tia. And then the following day, we'll be out at all Folsom prisons. We're gonna do all 3 in one day on the 13th. I'm trying to remember all the protests, but follow We Are the Voices, you know. We have our agenda out there of all the prisons because they all matter. I know there was a huge turnout at San Quintin the other day, and that was awesome. You know, just to see, we had 400 plus people out there.
Oh, amen.
Very moving.
All right.
But it's not just about San Quintin. It's not just about CTF. It's about the whole prison system
and having them step up and realize that our loved ones matter.
That's right.
You know, people are so quick to judge, and they'll say, well, you know, you do the crime, you do the time. I'm like, no, you know, I'm tired of hearing that. The punishment needs to fit the crime.
That's right. And if they need rehab, give them rehab, you know?
And I'm tired of also, I'm happy for those who've gone home and are going to get to go home. That's wonderful. I'm very, very happy for the families. But what about our lifers? You know, they say they rehabilitate, they offer programs. I know how the system works, you know. I got family that works the system. I got family in the system. I know exactly how it works. These guys are doing programs. These guys have done so much time, these years. For what? When they go to board, they get denied. You know, we have...
Take your time, baby. Go ahead.
A really dear friend of mine's husband just went to board the other day. And if anybody could go home, it was him. He's programmed so much, he was ready. But they held this crime against him after 20 plus years. I can't remember the exact time he's done.
20 years.
And they denied him.
And not the minimum. They denied him
5 years. When is enough time? What do you have to do to come home? I have a loved one incarcerated. I know you've all heard my story. Doing 2 consecutive life sentences for 2 nonviolent offenses. 24 years in.
Look at you. You got this, baby. Take your time, baby. Take your time.
On that note, can I just, I'm sorry, something real quick while you take a break. Because my husband and I, we are, you know, we follow these for-profit prisons. You guys need, please get aware. I mean, I know people say, well, I'm not into politics or too political. Jessica and your husband, you guys are too much for me. But Chester Boudin, San Francisco new DA, his parents were in the underground movement back in the 70s, and there was a robbery and 2 cops were killed. They both were sent to prison. So Chester grew up, as a matter of fact, his father's still in prison. Chester grew up being a child of prisoners. He didn't learn to read until he was, I think, older than 12, because of the trauma of being without parents and the parents being in prison, okay? Whatever. He went on to school, traveled the world, became an attorney. We helped elect him in San Francisco because of his stance with no bail, okay? So please follow your DAs in your cities. If they're progressive, oh sorry, Jesus, can you? And so follow that, please, because that's detrimental. This is not going to end. There's a Indian territory in Southern California, Salton Sea. They're going to be leasing land to a for-profit corporation to build an 8,000 plus bed. So this country, the government, has no plans on backing off mass incarceration. You guys, this shit's real. We have to get involved. You guys have the motivation because you have a personal story. My husband's an ex-con. I don't want to throw him under the bus and all that, but you know, he doesn't talk about. But anyway, I also have, you know, we all have our personal reason why we're here. But let's take it bigger than that. Let's take it bigger, because this is only going to grow if they continue building these mass facilities, because obviously the plan is to continue mass incarceration.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I talk? Yeah, come on, baby. Where's she at? Don, can you hold this for her, please? Take a seat. I got it.
I'm kind of nervous, but my whole life I grew up with both sides of the prison system, with CEO, my family being CEOs and some of them being inmates and stuff like that. And me myself, I was an inmate at one point, but now that I've seen that rehabilitation is possible, I believe in that, and I see the change in some inmates, and most of the inmates And it breaks my heart to see my husband, because his case is all under circumstantial. So I've been reviewing his case because I am going to school for law, and it just breaks my heart to see all the conditions that they have to live in. They say that it's all about rehabilitation, but they don't. To me, all they do is just throw them in the cell and lock them up. They don't give them the right materials to get rehabilitated. They don't give them like education, like how she was saying. My husband told me about 2 months ago they had barely deployed supplies for them to stay like healthy, like mask and all that stuff. But since then they haven't given them anything, and that breaks my heart. And I went to the prison in Chino, the rally, and that was really moving to me. So that's why I'm here today to represent my husband.
That's right.
All right.
A lot of our loved ones inside, they say that this is supposed to be for what is it called? Rehabilitation? My husband rehabilitated himself. It wasn't him that did it. He did it himself. He put himself in those help self programs. He put himself in school. My husband rehabilitated himself, not this stupid ass prison.
That's right.
Straight up.
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Yeah. On my phone or your phone? Sorry. Just talk. I got you. Just talk.
I can hold it for you.
Let's go. Again, I got so much stuff going through my mind. Sorry. I don't know. Take your time. You know, I stand here and I think about all, because I've been in this movement for a while, just doing like the nonprofit, just supporting it and stuff. And the story I've heard of people being incarcerated for years and years and years, and you know, it does weigh on you emotionally and mentally. You know, it just breaks your heart because you're thinking, you know, why can't people that aren't affected by it like us see what's really going on in the system? You know, I sat last night with some friends of mine that I'm staying with right now and just talking to them about it, and they've never been affected really by it, but I just let them know, like, really stand back and look what's going on in the system. That could happen to anybody at any moment. Anybody. You know, and people are so quick to judge and just throw them into prison and forget about them. You know, and I've been, like, I have a loved one in this prison. I got a couple of them actually, and I've got some good friends whose husbands are here, and just hearing their stories. But like I was saying, when my friend's husband was denied, that devastated me as well. Like, I cried when she told me he was denied. Because, you know, you go into it think, okay, my loved one's coming home. Like, he's done everything, he's programmed, he's ready. And then they tell him no. And for what? You know, they've already gone to court, they've already been sentenced. Let these men go, let these lifers go, review their sentences, and send them home. Ralph Diaz has the authority to do so. Koenig does too. Governor Newsom needs to keep pushing for these lifers. Lifers are always left behind, and that's not right. These guys, CDCR, the COs, need to have more oversight on them. They get to do whatever the hell they want to do. Prop 57, for example, that was passed. What happened? It put it in the hands of CDCR to implement how they saw fit. And what did they do? They did just that. Youth offenders should have been already reviewed, but the board is too far back. How can you hold a youth responsible for something they did as a youth?
Thank you.
My kids make mistakes all the time. So do I. I'm not gonna put my age out there, but as an adult woman, I make mistakes.
But they change. People change.
That's right.
We can't hold our past against us. You know? And it's a money maker. It is a money maker.
And it's real.
Yeah, it's real. We live it every day. What's happened at Soledad recently, you know, I'll touch on that, and if anybody else wants to speak about it. The other day, we pulled out, I don't know how many men, but a lot, over 150 men, black individuals. They didn't follow protocol. What about our Hispanics? What did they do to them? What about the gladiator fights? You know, they set them up to fight. Why? So they can say, look at them, look at them. They don't deserve to come out. Why would you want to let them out? They're violent. If they can't act right in prison, how are they going to act right out in the public? Because you set them up for failure. I will tell you, if anybody approaches me to try to fight me, I'm going to stand my ground.
That's right.
I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. But really, seriously, I am a loving, kind person. But nobody's going to stand there and get beat on. But when you purposely set up our loved ones to get hurt, they've been going on almost 2 years at this prison. Right, Alice? Like almost 2 years.
2 years this month.
Yeah.
2 years.
Of the gladiator fights and the, you know, the putting the groups of Hispanics against each other. When is enough enough? When is the state going to hold CDCR responsible? I've gone to the Capitol with fellow ladies to stand up for where's all the money? What's being offered to our loved ones? Where's the programming? Where's the rehabilitation and CDCR?
That's right.
They need to let them go home. I'm not saying, this is me personally, open the gates and let them all go. I'm not saying that.
Review their cases.
Review their cases. Give them a chance. Don't put them away for life and forget about them.
Not for bullshit.
There needs to be change. Ralph Diaz needs to be held accountable. The wardens need to be held accountable. Because in the end, they're the ones oversee what their COs are doing in their prison. That's why they're the warden. So send them to resentencing and send them home. Let them come home. Quit making money off of our loved ones. I'm tired of it.
That's right. Right. Fair trials. Golly.
There needs to be change in the whole system from the top to the bottom. Newsom, you need to get on it because I'm tired of hearing you're going to do this, you do that, you don't do nothing. I'm done for you.
Yeah, a public defender once told my fiance that as long as he had the color of his skin, he was never going to get a fair trial in Monterey County. And that was from a public defender. So I don't trust the system.
You need to come up here and speak again.
Okay, in a minute. Jesse's going to speak first right now.
Hello. I'm originally from LA. The way the county jails work over there is that when you're in the county jail, this is how they make their money in LA. I don't know about around here. The way they make their money is that they keep on saying that that LA Central Jail is full. No, they don't. They got plenty because where they house all the prisoners is like a big little warehouse, and they got them all the way to the 6th or the 8th floor. When they say they're full, they ship them to Wayside. Wayside is by going towards Palmdale, Lancaster, by Saugus. It's like a prison, but it's county jail. County jail. They keep them there for weeks, months, and they do the same thing. They ship him back to LA Central Jail. When I was there, it was $180 something per prisoner to take him back and forth. Now it's probably over 200. They charge the state. They charge the county. That's how they make money in those places. It's all about money, like my wife said. It's all about money. They don't care about anybody else. If you're black or brown, you're screwed.
That's right. Yeah.
The way they treat the blacks, the whites, no offense either, the way they treat them is much, much better with respect. But when it comes to us, we're dogs. We're animals. The way they feed you, I remember when I was a kid, when I started going to the county, they were hot meals. The county was my second home. What they do now is they give you ostrich bologna, a little thing of juice, maybe an apple, maybe an orange, and that's it for lunch. For dinner, it's almost the same crap. What we used to do, there was a lot of guys that were hurting. Tweakers, drug addicts, I mean, you name it. We used to hide the oranges and the fruit in our pockets. And if they found us with it, they would give us more time, and you know, it's just a pain. But we used to save it for them so they could go through that process, because they need sugar. If you're a tweaker and if you're hurting in there, you need something to survive, because they couldn't eat at all. So that's how we helped everybody in there. But it's all about the money again. Don't let them fool you that they say that the prisons are full. And if they're full, why are they building more? Newsom said that he wasn't going to build anymore. But in the Salton Sea down south, the Indian tribes over there, they're gonna build. They already got the money. They got the money from the government, the banks. They're gonna build the prisons themselves, contractors and all, and then they're gonna lease it to private corporations so they could do it, so they could run the prisons. That way they don't get in trouble by other tribes or black and brown people. But since it's already out there in the limelight, I mean, everybody's complaining now. How could they do that to their own people? Native Indians, indigenous Indians from this, you know, that to me, from Canada all the way down south, we're all from the same continent. We're all the same people. We're all the same indigenous, the same natives, the same people. Okay? But they seem to separate us from each other. This was Turtle Island before. Everybody used to trade from up north all the way to down south. You know, the border crossed us. We didn't cross the borders. That's right. You know, they say go home. This is our home. We belong here. You know, so just remember that. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them separate you. If you're from Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, you name it, Honduras, Chile, Peru, we're all one. We're all one. Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start off by saying I never speak. That's just not my thing. I don't like being up here. But I'm going to bring a little history to you guys. I'm going to take it back to 2 years ago, 2018. Me, along with a few other ladies that I see in the crowd, have stood out there and here for 2 years because of gladiator fights between the Southern Mexicans and the Bulldogs. For 2 years. 2 years ago, actually last year in August 14th, 13th, Ralph Diaz and Governor Newsom were here. These guys pleaded with them to not let these gladiator fights continue because violence would occur. The very next day, they hired outside security, more guards, and released 250 of them. Was one of the biggest gladiator fights in California history. How they released it to the media, though, was that these men, they're horrible, and they're investigating what happened. But this has been going on for 2 years, and the only reason it stopped was because COVID hit. If COVID hadn't hit, we would still be standing out here protesting for our loved ones. Not just here, Corcoran and Pleasant Valley, same thing.
Yeah,
These are
riots.
Exactly. They call them riots. They're not riots. Yep. We have to start reading what the media is really telling us, because it's not that. They only go to CDCR because they don't believe us. We're always gonna be on our loved ones' sides. Always. That's why it's up to us to start telling our stories, the truth of what's really going on. Okay? If you don't tell the truth and if you stay quiet, I don't want my husband to get retaliation. Let me tell you something. They're treating him like shit in there every day.
Speak on it.
Every day. Regardless if you speak or not.
Speak on it.
Ooh.
Take your time, baby. Take your time. You got this, babe.
No one. We shouldn't even have to be standing here today for basic human rights. We should not. Mass incarceration is disgusting. Alone in CTF, it's 145% over capacity. 145. It takes to house one healthy incarcerated person $84,000. Put that shit back into the community.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
So we can break it, break the cycles before they even start. Our kids need us. They need their dads. They need their mothers. They need their fathers. They need their uncles. They need their aunts. You know what they're doing to them today? They're on complete lockdown. Complete lockdown. Because supposedly there's a protest and we're out here we're ruling everywhere we go. We're horrible people. Are you kidding me?
Uh-oh.
What violence has occurred out here? Nothing. No violence has occurred. My husband is part of the Pelican Bay shoe hunger strikes. He did 8.5 years in solitary confinement. Okay? 8.5 years to come to a fucking level 2 and have to fight for his life in the yard every day because he was part of the gladiator fights. Does that make sense?
No.
No, he's ready to come home. Yep. He's been incarcerated for 25 years.
Oh no, let him out.
It's time.
It's time.
They're so behind on parole hearings that he was supposed to go up in July. He still doesn't have a date. He still doesn't have a lawyer. Nothing. There's no time. We are wasting time here, you guys. You guys need to speak up. And when COVID is over, this crowd that I see here, I hope you continue to stand here. Not just here. If you live by a prison, I'm in the Central Valley. Everybody surrounds me. And if I can go, I go. Because I know that my loved one's not there, he's here. But you know what? Someone else is out there. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people in there that don't have not one family member. Be their voice. And get involved in legislation. We hold that. We hold that. If you need help sending emails, push me to the side. I'll give you my number. If you don't know who your legislator assembly member is, I'll give you my number. But if we don't do it together, we will never get nowhere. You know why? They don't want us to unite. They don't want racists to unite. You know why? Because we would dismantle them. And that's what we're here to do. We need to dismantle them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay? You know why they're fearful and they're standing back there and they didn't want to come? You know why he wants to win? Because that's job stability.
That's right.
That's job stability.
Speak on it.
Put $84,000 back into the community instead of giving these guys $100K a year to stand there and to treat our loved ones like shit. No more.
That's right,
This
girl.
stops today everywhere. But you guys have to stay involved. Don't be silent in the background. And another thing, and I say this with all respect to you guys, stop calling your loved ones inmates.
That part.
Stop. That's what they call them. That's to dehumanize them. That's to make them, to show the media, to show the public that they're not real. Refer to your loved one as your loved one. Incarcerated loved one. Currently incarcerated. Do not refer to them as inmates. That's the most demeaning thing that you can call them. They don't like it. They love it. Change it. Change it now, today, for moving forward. Don't let nobody tell you and that what you're fighting for is wrong. Don't let them stray you away from what you're doing. Thank you.
And just like she said, I hope to see you guys at our other protests that are around.
Yeah.
We have a lot of women next week going to Solano on the 12th of next week. So I'm hoping I see your beautiful faces. If you go on We Are Their Voices, that's part of the organization that we're with.
Oh my God, hold on. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. So if you go on We Are Their Voices on the events page, of that page there are several different protests at different prisons that we will be going to, and it doesn't just stop here. It doesn't just stop here because, like I said, my husband isn't here, but your loved ones is. My husband has never been to Soledad.
When you're done, I'll wait.
My husband's never been in this prison, but your loved one's here. And I'm not only fighting for my husband, I'm fighting for y'all loved ones as well. And she's right. To us, they're not inmates. The CDC are there a number. My husband's number to them is Z66120, but his name is Ray Woodfork. That's the person I know. I don't know the number that CDCR has given him. That's not who he is. That doesn't define the man that he is at all by any means necessary. No, that is not who he is. He has a name. And so I want you guys to come to the protest and speak your loved one's name. Show CDCR that they're a bunch of rats and we're out here to fight. And we're better and greater in numbers. If we support each other, there's a movement that is happening, and I want us all to be part of that movement. I want us to stand with We Are Their Voices and go to prisons and knock walls down, knock doors down till we're heard. And don't stop till till one of us is heard. And like she said, when COVID is over, I'm still going to fight. Because whether COVID is here or not, they still going to be in there. They're still going to be treated the way that they're being treated. And that's not cool by me at all. That pisses me off. And I've been pissed off this whole time. And baby girl says she's been fighting since 2016. And mama, I'm sorry I wasn't there for you since 2016. But baby girl, I'm here now. And I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm going to use my voice that God has given me to show how we feel about this stuff. So I got you, baby. Wherever you want to move, I'm moving too. You come move with me, I got you too. And I hope that everybody under the sound of my voice right now, I want y'all to keep fighting with us. It doesn't stop at Soledad. It doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop when we go back to Sacramento and hit CDCR and then hit the Capitol. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop till each and every one of our incarcerated loved ones come home. And I know y'all all feel the same way because y'all sitting right here nodding your heads. It does not stop till they're home. Mass incarceration is ridiculous, but it's happening. LWOP is the second death sentence. Are you kidding me? You took somebody's life away when they were a juvenile? Are you serious? My husband was 19. He's not even the same man he was when he was 19. My husband is 38. And not only is that man fine, because girl, let me tell you, my husband is fine. Oh, he is fine. But he is a mighty man of God. He is a Christian man. So much so that every prison that my husband has been with, just to give you a quick testimony, every prison my husband has stepped his foot in, instantly he gets a role. Now he's the MAC representative for all the blacks. You know, he's a facilitator in his building. He's in there and he teaches classes to other inmates who want to learn. He has people coming up to him to pray for him because of his walk with God. So he is not the same man that he is when he went in there. God has changed him. And so everybody should see that what God has done for him. And I'm telling you, he is, and I keep telling my husband, when he tells me I want to come home, and I'm like, I understand, but you need to understand this. God has a purpose and a reason for your life, and there are souls in there that need to be saved, and they would not be saved if you weren't there. I try to spin it on him because I know I feel his pain. When he hurts, I'm hurting too, but I can't let him know that I'm hurt. I need him to know that I'm strong and I'm standing with him. So I give him positivity. I tell him, baby, you got to save those souls in there, because when they see you walking, he's 6'6.5", so he stands out. He's 6'6.5", but when he walks, you can see God on him. So much so that people are drawn to him just to pray for them. Pray for them. He does in the chapel. He preaches. You know, he can put his hand in the Bible and tell you what it's about and where it's from. If I give him a scripture, he knows where to find it. He is a mighty man of God. So while he's in there preaching the word, I'm out here preaching mine too, because we are one under the side of God. You feel me? And I fight like my husband's fighting. Y'all think I'm crazy? That man crazy too. But I love him. I've been with him for 5 years. We've been married for 2, and that is my best friend. We got a handshake and everything. We call ourselves the Swag Gang, and the Swag Gang versus everybody. So I'm done. Anybody else want to talk? Because I'll keep going. Come on. Come speak. Come on.
All right.
It's okay, baby.
You hold your side.
Oh, I got it. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
I don't speak. I'm really quiet. I met my husband while he was incarcerated. We've been together 10 years. We've been married 6. My husband's been down for 26 years now. He's been in these gladiator fights, fighting for his life. He's a MAC. He's also a... You got this, Angel. You got this.
He's proud of you.
He's also a facilitator. I love my husband. I miss him. I haven't seen him in a very long time because of all this.
That's why we're here, right? Bring him home.
Because of all these gladiator fights, these lockdowns, now COVID. You know, it's hard trying to stay strong. You know, he's not the person he was when he got incarcerated for the crime that he did. My husband is a loving man. He's changed. He knows he did was wrong. But he's not that person anymore. He went to board and got denied. The very first time they denied him, they straight up said, 20 years, no, don't come back. He just went back and they denied him again. He's done a lot, and like everybody said out here, they're not giving them any kind of rehabilitation. They're doing it themselves. The ones that want to come home are doing it. They're proving it. They're proving it to everybody out here. He's got his GED while incarcerated. He's gone to college courses. He's trying to improve himself. Like I said, he's not the same person. He's trying to come home. He wants to come home. He wants to be a better person. He wants just the chance to prove himself. You know, and when is enough enough? You're gonna tell me you haven't changed since you were little, when you were 5, when you were 10? Since yesterday, you're telling me you haven't changed? Everybody deserves a second chance. And that's what I want for my husband, is a second chance for him to come home.
Anybody else want to speak? Little mama, come here. You wanted to say something earlier?
My man is in Monterey County Jail. He's facing, started off with life. They wanted to give him life for a hearsay and one text message. Then they gave him another offer 12. Then they gave him another offer 10. He's been there for the last year on 10. Off a hearsay, off of a vindictive ex that couldn't see us together. I don't know if you've ever had that situation, but I'm living it right now. I'm living it right now. My situation has to do with hearsay, and to have a public defender tell you that you're not going to have a fair trial because of the color of your skin. My man is African American and Hispanic mixed, so he gets the bad end of the both worlds, you know. And if he can have a fair trial, we'd be able to get out of this faster. But they just want to put him in prison like everybody else, you know, just throw away their lives. He's got a problem with meth. I'm proud of him. He's been sober 1 year and 15 days.
That's what's up.
And I'm proud of him. And he put it down. He said, I choose you. He chooses me. So because of that, I'm here fighting for him today. And I'm glad that all of us are here. And I hope when we go to Monterey County Jail, I hope we all follow with us for our sake too. And I appreciate you guys all being here.
I'm new kind of to this whole thing. Me and my Me and my boyfriend, fiance have been together for almost 2 years. I've known him when he was a kid. He got brought in when he was 16. They didn't give him any type of youth chances. They didn't send him to CYA. They sent him the night he turned 18. They sent him straight to Pelican Bay. How do you expect a child to rehabilitate when you take him and you put him with all of the top people that they say are the worst people in the world? He's been a level 4 since he was 18. So as soon as he jumped off of it, they threw him into a level 4. No type of education, anything that he's done. Right now we're paying for him to go to college ourselves. Every time that he has applied for college, they have denied him. So we took it upon ourselves to do it. They have not tried to offer him any type of rehabilitation at all. No type of schooling, no type of vocational classes that give them the option to say, okay, hey, you want to rehabilitate? Let's give you something to do. When you get out, you can work. You can be a productive citizen of society. They don't do that. It's just whatever and whoever. Who in their right mind decided that taking a human being and putting them in a whatever size cell block, cedar block, who does that? You don't even do that to a dog. You don't even do that to something that you feel like is not right. But you'll take a human being and you'll put them in the cell and you just forget about them, whatever. And it's all about the money that you make off of them. You don't give them a chance to say, hey, I've been in here this many years. He's been down 12 years. All he wants to do is be able to come out and make a change. We take care of other people that he have all the way in Folsom, all the way in Pelican Bay. We take care of those people because they don't have anybody to stand up and say, hey, we're here for you. Their family members have just said, whatever, we don't want to do it, because when they come and they're trying to visit, or when they come and they're trying to do things, the COs make it hard for them. They make it hard to visit. They want to petty nitpick over things that you have, your shoes. They want to nitpick over your clothes, all because they don't feel like they are adequate enough to be able to deal with the rest of human society. I don't think that it's right, and I think that as long as they have him and anybody else that they have, I'm going to stand in the gap for them. I'm going to be that person in the middle. My daughter has no idea what's going on, but that's her dad, and she feels like if I got to stand there with my mom, then that's what I'm going to do.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right, baby girl.
Anybody else? Come on, mama. You gotta keep it to your mouth like this, okay?
So you guys, this is the first time me coming here. It's really hard. I don't have my husband here, but I have my goddaughter's dad here. My dad is in San Quintin. My husband he's a lifer, and my husband is going to board as we speak. He just got transferred, so all these transfers that are going on is real. He just got transferred yesterday, saying he wasn't going to get transferred. He got tested for COVID, he was negative. He got to California City yesterday, tested him twice, both nostrils, and said it was very painful. I'm just waiting on the boards right now to see what's going to happen. And I also been in your shoes. My husband was looking at 38 years. I fought, I'm his voice. At one point I had my husband, my father, and my 17-year-old son in prison. Juvenile hall, I should say. It was very hard. I'm here now, and I will continue to be here.
That's what's up.
That's right, yeah.
I have a question for you. He was transferred from where to where? He was transferred from Delano because they're closing Delano. Modified correctional facility, and they're sending him to Tracy, Folsom, and California City. My husband was transferred. He was on the roster on Monday, got his name crossed off, and yesterday was transferred to California City. And
But they're not doing any transfers.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they are transferring.
Say it again?
They just transferred people from Solano here yesterday.
Solano?
Yes.
If anybody that knows somebody that's gotten transferred, you can reach out to We Are the Voices, and you can reach out, anybody that's been transferred, not that's going to be transferred. I need to know if they've been transferred from where to where. I want you to let us know We Are the Voices, and I want you to let United Against CDCR know. because
500 inmates transferred from Salinas Modified Correctional Facility to California City State Prison.
they're not supposed to be. When they say, when Ralph Diaz says no transfers,
That means
just like
no
I tell my kid
transferring.
no means no.
So
Nothing.
So yeah, it's been they're transferring. I have a couple inmates, a couple friends that their husbands have been transferred to Tulsa, to Tracy, and to California.
So you said the Solano
That's what I heard. I don't
yesterday?
know, not for sure.
You know that pisses me off because my husband has Solano, right? You know that pisses me all the way out.
They've been doing transfers left and right, and their excuse is like,
They've been moving them around in here too.
There should be no transfers
Clearing out
between
wings.
prisons, no transfers within the prison, no transfers at all. Because if they're moving it from one wing to the next, that's how it gets spread. From one prison to the next, that's how it gets spread. But it mainly gets spread, as we know, standing here in front of CTF, by the damn staff.
That's right. That's
This
the only
prison
way.
had no cases for the longest time. Come Saturday, I believe it was, we got 3 cases.
It was after
Because
that raid.
after the raid, the nurse, we don't know anything solid, but we do know it came in there because our loved ones sure as hell are not going anywhere.
That's right.
So it came in by the staff.
That's right.
So y'all know I'm pissed off now that I found out my prison got some problems, you feel me? That's why I'm gonna be there on Wednesday with my loud mouth, with my bullhorn, and Solano, and all them officers that know me personally will hear my mouth. I will not be silenced. I don't know, my mama can't silence me, so if my mama can't do it, CDCR show can't, Governor Newsom show can't, Diaz show can't, Solano show can't, Pelican Bay show can't, San Quintin show can't, and Soledad for sure we can't. Shut my mouth, because I am his voice. I stand in alliance with we are their voices and with y'all. So, I want to know who else want to speak, because I'm wild at. Somebody else got to be mad too. So y'all go sit here and tell me, oh, come on, mama. Come on.
Hi everybody, thanks so much for sharing your stories today. I don't have family members in prisons, but I'm a law student at Stanford Law School, and I represented a 3-striker last year. He was the kindest man in the world. He was 66 in Lompoc prison. He was given mandatory life without the possibility of parole for 2 drug offenses. And he has an underlying condition for diabetes. We fought his case from the state level to the circuit level, and then eventually in the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court refused to hear his case. Even though under Proposition 47, his underlying case was knocked down to a misdemeanor. As you may know, Lompoc, most of the prisoners have tested positive for COVID, and he, with his frail condition and underlying health condition, got COVID and was put on a ventilator for 2 weeks. Only when he was literally at death's door did the prisons finally set him free, but it almost cost his life. I think my friend and I were both law students at Stanford, and we went to law school with certain ideals of what the law would look like. We thought there would be justice and there would be peace, and I think hearing your stories that you've really graciously shared with us has really changed the way we view the world. But I want to say that even though I don't have family members in prisons, I don't have friends in prisons, that I am committed to your cause.
That's what's up.
That I will commit my career as a law student, as a lawyer next year.
Congratulations. That's right.
To fight for you in this state and on the nationwide, and I will make sure that whatever stories that you're sharing, that I am committed to spreading these stories and for fighting for your peace and your justice and your loved ones. Thank you.
I'm so serious. Do not leave without talking to me. Do not leave without speaking to me. So I was talking to the guys earlier, the reporters, and she is a prime example. I'm fogging up my glasses, damn it. I wish there were more of you, hun. Because you don't have somebody standing there, you don't have somebody in the system. But you're out here fighting for change.
Thank you.
That's what's up. And that is what I try to teach my kids. That you might not be affected by it personally, but you are affected by it. You see it, how it affects other people. We need to come together and make a change, make a difference. And how you said that man that was sentenced, all those years under proper, same thing as my loved one.
My bad.
We're coming strong.
We got sorry.
Like I said, he has 2 life sentences. He broke into a vehicle and stole some speakers. He was involved in a second-degree robbery. He was the driver. Was he wrong? Hell yeah, he was wrong. He made mistakes. 24 years later, he's still locked up behind those bars. He qualifies for a misdemeanor, but 2 life sentences. We appealed it. No, he's a danger to society. He's a violent person. Where is the violence? Where do you see the violence in that? He broke into a car that was non-occupied and stole speakers? But you can put him in prison for 2 life sentences? He missed out on raising his 2 daughters. He's missed out on so much. That man is one of the nicest men you'll ever meet. Educated. He ties the church every time he gets money. You know, it's like, when is it going to end? And just like the other women have spoken up, when my loved ones come home, I'll still be here fighting until they make a change. And I'm tired of saying, oh, when they get out, what are they going to do? Well, quit setting them up for failure. I just met a man recently that was released out of San Quintin. Nicest man, you know, just a great man, but he was quarantined in a hotel. We went and met him, tried to help him out a little bit, see what he needed. They put him up in a hotel. You know how much they charge that man for a hotel a night, or charge us, as taxpayers? Super 8 motel. $500 a night.
Jesus Christ.
That's our money going towards that. Did they give him any food? Did they give him any clothes? Nothing. So what are they supposed to do when they get out? Let them go home to their loved ones. Let us take care of them. Let us provide for them. If he didn't have people rallying around him to help him out, what would he have done? Now he's in a transitional house. I met another man I met a few years back when I was doing a nonprofit. He was actually paroled to Stockton, where I'm from. This man has come out and hustled. He wants to be a productive member of society. He went out, took his driver's license test. I told him, look, Bobby, I got you. You know, he's from Venice Beach, but I said, you're now part of my family. I'll take you and I'll help you with what I can. Is my loved one okay with that? Yeah, he's okay, because that could be you coming out. I want to help them when they come out too. He got his driver's license. I told him, when it's time to take your driver's test, use my car, I don't care. He got a job, he's working at Safeway. He's going back to school. I said, I want to give back. I know the story, I lived that life, I want to help them. So he's going to be working, go to school. How are they going to say they're not productive members of society? They're trying, but we got to make sure that they have a chance as well. It doesn't stop when they walk out of those gates. You know, these people, they're human beings, and I'm tired of having them labeled with a CDCR number or labeled as an inmate. They are not that. They're our loved ones. They matter just as much as those ones with the badges and the uniform and get paid that high dollar amount. You know, so I hope you guys keep coming out and keep fighting and speaking up for them, because it doesn't stop here. It really doesn't. We have to keep applying pressure to Diaz, Newsom, legislators. Go to your Capitol. You have every right to go to the Capitol and speak up. You can go into those buildings and speak to the people. Tell them your story. They need to hear it, because all they hear is about the negative stories. Sitting at the budget meetings, that's your tax dollars going towards that. That's your loved one not coming home. We have to stay united all together, no division, because in the end it affects us all.
Of course I got something to say. Did you not bet me? Do you not know who I am? Jesus.
I just want to let y'all know why y'all out here. If you are thirsty and hungry, we have provided some snacks. It may not be no steak, but it'll keep you from being hungry. We got chips, we got water, we got juices over there. What?
Yeah, we got snacks.
So we got snacks. Is there anybody else who wants to speak? Anybody else who feels they want to share their story? We all sit in?
No taco. No
We
taco.
got no tacos.
Breakfast burritos.
Oh my God, we got no tacos. But we do have breakfast burritos. Then you want that?
You made me forget what I was gonna say. Thank you.
Now we're thinking about food.
Right now I'm hungry. Now I'm good.
But I want to thank everybody for coming out and sharing your story because it means a lot. And when my husband calls, wish I could call him, but you know. So when, you know, Global Telling tells me I have a call, you feel me? And he calls and I tell him about my fight, and then I tell him about you guys' fight, and he is overwhelmed with joy that somebody is fighting for him, that he hasn't been forgot about. Because in order for me to even get my husband into the courts, I have to hire a appeals lawyer. And that runs about 50 grand of money that I ain't got. Or I would be in a big old house or something. But I don't have 50 grand to give somebody to fight for my husband. So I have to do what I can as his wife to stand here and fight for him. And he is overwhelmed. Like my husband was in tears to notice that the ladies out here are fighting for him too. You know, so it may be a small protest, it may be a big protest. Are you guys transferring people out? Is that what's happening right now? You know, because COVID's inside, and I'm seeing 2 ambulance and fire people come out here. Is that what's happening? Is there more sick people that you don't want to tell us about? I know. Because I'm listening. I'm lying. Are you done lying, cuz? Because I've seen a couple of people with ambulance coming out here. The fire department was out here too while I've been up here, sir. Sir. So you want to tell me what's going on, officer? Of course you don't. I can't say it out loud. I want to be arrested. You know. Freedom of speech. Right. That is my amendment right. It's freedom of speech. You feel me? So I do hope that when we go back to Sacramento that you ladies are there. That if you go out, we are their voices and find the admin. I'm not, that's a different story. But if you go it's a running joke, guys. It's a running joke.
Tia, she's not an admin.
Yeah, that's what they tell me all the time. You're not an admin. Well, I'm still gonna fight. I don't care. I don't care. But if you guys go there with We Are Their Voices, we'll be going back to Sacramento, and we will be marching, and we'll be fighting. We've been there before. We will go again. This is just the first wave of protest. There will be a second wave. That one's October 16th. Is the one in Sacramento. Un momento, por favor. I know a little bit of Spanish. And then, of course, we have Solano and Vacaville. If you look at Solano State Prison, we're going to be there. And I hope you will be there, too. I was getting there now. We're going to be there next week on the 12th, 9 o'clock, to that stupid park we all have to park at because we can't park at the prison. So everybody know where that park at. So we're going to be there on the 12th, and I hope to see you guys' faces. I hope to see you in Sacramento. I hope to see you at This is Soledad, at the Folsom one, and Tracy. I hope to see you guys at all of them because my loudmouth is going to be there. So here you go.
We also have a nationwide protest that we signed up to support. So we are super excited about that. It's nationwide protest for freedom and justice. Don't quote me on that name, but if you go on our page, you'll find it there. But it's going to be a moving event. It's August 22nd, and we're going to hold it at the Chowchilla Women's Facility as well as the men's. We're going to do a ringing of the bells. So what it is simultaneously there will be a ringing of the bells nationwide. We're going to provide all the bells. Don't bring your bell. But we'll be out there ringing the bells simultaneously. People from other countries will also be involved, zooming in. Because, like I said, it's not just this prison, not a California issue, it's nationwide. So coming together, we can make a change, we can make a movement. This is a movement. It really is. And our voices need to be heard. Not just a group, organization, ours, because we live this daily. You know what I mean?
They're not just doing time in there. We're doing time with them.
We do the time with them. We do the time. August 22nd, go on We Are the Voices and look at the agenda or the announcements and all the activities that are going on. And we're not just stopping after the protests are done. We are going to keep going and keep fighting for our loved ones. I would say this too, because it's the big one. Get out there and vote.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, get out there and vote. Because if you don't vote and you don't get involved,
you won't be
I'm sorry. I don't want to hear you complain later on. I don't.
And vote no on what?
Vote no on Prop 20.
Yeah.
That is trying to undo what we have come so far to do, what other organizations have come so far to do. Who is that? Assemblymember Cooper. Yeah, he can take a hike, for real. It's like, he's my assembly member. He's all in it to rewind and
put more people back in prison and jail. No. No on Prop 20. Please, please, please. And educate people. That's the biggest thing. People don't know what they're voting for. They just glance over and just, oh, this sounds good. No. It is no on Prop 20. Please. And I'll buy you a taco.
Real quickly, I just want you to know, because Lil Mama gonna come up here and speak. This is a nationwide thing, like she said. I got a couple of emails from women who are in other states who want to start protesting with We Are Their Voices. I got hit up from a girl from Nevada 2 days ago who want to do a protest in Nevada. I got women in Kentucky who want to start doing protests because of We Are Their Voices. There are women who want to do it. I got hit so far as Canada, y'all. Canada, who want to do these because we are their voices, because we stood up for something. Like, this is not something that sounds good on paper. This is a movement that is happening, and not only in California, but in other states. And it warms my heart when people hit me up, because I'm so fucked. I'm 10 toes down this thing. I don't know if you guys see my performance from San Quintin. I even wrote a song about it. Y'all can see it on my page. You can get with me. I'll let you know. I wrote a song, and it's now the anthem to our whole movement. And it's great to hear other states who are partnering with us, who are hitting me up saying, I see what you're doing and I want to do it too. So that warms my heart to know that we're actually doing something, being heard, and not just in California, but other states and other places that this is happening. So imagine how big this thing can get if we all keep pushing, all keep coming together, and all stand for something. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything, and I ain't gonna be on the ground. So, let you know. Come on, Mama, go speak.
Just push it right here. Put it up to your mouth, real close.
Good afternoon, ladies and how are you?
Hold it closer.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies. My name is Lisa Navarez, and I just want you to know that we all stand here together and we're going to fight this. We're going to fight this COVID-19 that's in our prison system. We are going to fight the damn governor, because the governor does not care about our loved ones. And it just makes me so angry inside that it breaks my heart every day, because every day I hear my husband crying to me, telling me how scared he is. I have a nephew here in Salinas Valley. I have another nephew that's in Wasco State Prison. I have my husband who's in Sierra Conservation Center. And we are also going to be protesting out there this coming weekend. And I just want you to, everybody, to please be involved. Get this protest started. Let our voices to be heard to the governor, to tell him, please let our loved ones come home. These guys don't deserve to die in prison. They already did their mistakes. They're doing their time for their bad behavior, okay? But it's not right to have these inmates in there dying, gasping up for air, that can't breathe out there. So please, ladies, let's stand together. That's all I want, is everybody to please stand together.
That's right.
We need to stand by each other's side. We also need to stand by our men's side, our nephews, our fathers, our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, our uncles, our grandfathers, especially our loved ones, our boyfriends, our fiancés, and especially my husband, and your guys' husband too. In the name of Jesus, please bring them home. In the name of Jesus, bring them home. Amen.
Amen. He's the only one that can judge.
Exactly.
He's the only one that can judge.
You over here making points, talking about we in jail too, and then you over here talking about God's not about your girl. You don't bring no tail up here. But she's right. God is the only, look, I don't care what these white people say, excuse my language, about my husband's sentence. My God has the final say so. Point blank and period. If my man wants to, if God wants my man home, he'll be home. I don't care. He may not come home by parole or at the board or nothing. But if God says let him go, can't no man stop that.
No one.
Period.
No one.
Man can stop that. Period. And I believe because I prayed and fasted. And it's kind of funny. Can I share something with y'all real quick?
We're gonna do it anyway.
Exactly. So before my husband and I got together, for 2 weeks we prayed and we fasted together because we needed to know that this was from God. We needed to know that what was happening was from God. So after we prayed and we fasted, we heard God say that we were supposed to be together. Ever since then, 5 years ago, we have been best friends. Our average in fighting is like 2 and 5 years, and that's a really good average. And I'm telling you, when God has blessed you, there's nothing nobody can say about it. So my soulmate is incarcerated. You feel me? But that's okay because he's coming home.
That's right.
I don't care what his sentence is. He's coming home.
That's right.
That's why I fight, because he's coming home. And I will never put no negativity in the air. And what bothers me a little bit is the same women who are out there with their incarcerated loved ones in there will fight against us in our movement. Well, we're fighting for your loved ones, but you can't come out here with us because you feel that they're going to be on lockdown. What is one day of lockdown to their future? What is one day of lockdown? Look.
What's the bus coming in for?
Why is the bus coming in? Are you going to tell me why you're in here? Sir, are you dropping off people? Picking them up? You shut them all in? Why are you doing transfers, officer?
I thought there was no transfers.
They're not supposed to do transfers
At all, whatsoever. See, and that's where.
No transfers! No transfers! No transfers! No transfers! No transfers! No transfers! And this was proof, y'all, that they're still doing transfers.
That's right.
This is proof. We done seen the EMT come out here. We done seen all of that come out here. That is proof that they're still doing transfers, which is proof that COVID is still coming in here. COVID is still being through inmates because they're bringing them in here because of transfers. And I know you heard me, officer. I'm glad. Y'all still doing transfers, and it's ridiculous. It makes me sick. But like I said before, your fight ain't my fight. You feel me? But I will always be the real definition of a ride or die. Like, I don't care what anybody else says. You feel me? Because I will fight. And for the women who are against me and the backlashes I've been getting, I'm sorry, baby girl, but I'm still going to fight. Regardless of what you say, because I'm still fighting for your loved ones. Whether you disagree with me or not, I'm still fighting for your loved ones. And I will continue to always fight for everybody's loved ones. In a little bit, we're going to be going over there to reconvene and to get some snacks in our system. And then, what are we doing now?
Monterey County Jail.
And then we're going to drive over. For those who can join us, I hope most of you can. If you can't, I totally understand. But we're going to head over to Monterey County Jail and support our loved ones over there and what's going on in that system as well. So I hope we can, drive over there. And
305 so far inmates in there. They keep ringing the number up and down. 305 inmates.
You could have said that up here.
Damn. I know I said it too late, huh? 305 inmates have COVID-19. They keep bringing the number down. Every time you talk to the sheriffs, they say something different. They're liars. They're full of crap. And I don't believe anything they say.
And they're not providing them what
they don't
need.
give them what they need. They give them a big old Gatorade gallon that has rat poop on the bottom. That's not good.
But that's how they treat our loved ones. And that's okay. Okay?
And then they open the top and they claim that the inmates did it. But my fiance said, look at the camera. But they don't want to look because they don't want them to hear the truth.
That's right.
Okay, baby girl just got out of court this morning for her husband. Yeah. She was there representing her loved one as well. So she wants to come up here and say something.
Woo!
My name's Isabel. My husband's been down for 23 years. He's a lifer as well. I was one of the regulars that come and visit. Today was like really emotional, bittersweet. I know it was all God's plan. I've been praying for this. Family's been praying. He got his enhancements dropped, so that's just gonna be He's been incarcerated, yes, amen. And whatever you guys do, just continue to keep fighting. That's the best thing we could do, because they're not going to get the same treatment that we will out here. And to be honest, we don't even get that good of a treatment in the hospitals. So we all just got to keep together, keep fighting, keep pushing, striving for our loved ones, and do not give up on them. Please don't do it. See a lot of relationships falling right now. Don't do it. Don't do it. They need us. Whether if it's your man, your boyfriend, whatever it is, just don't fall off. Just continue to keep pushing. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Thank you. I got 2 hours of sleep last night.
No, it's okay. At least you spoke those.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna
Whoa, you might not want to hold it that close.
reiterate what I said earlier. Is
we don't just stand for our loved ones. Because when our loved ones do come home, there's going to be so many of them left behind. You know, and I had it was a touchy thing. I went down to Tehachapi the other day to support the We Are the Voices protest down there. And a gentleman I had met while doing like the advocacy and stuff. And he didn't know I was going all the way down to Tehachapi. But he called me the next day just to check on him because Tehachapi's had a really big outbreak as well down there of the virus. And he sounded really down, you know, and he's like, hey, Dawn, like, don't forget about me. And just hearing those words, it breaks my heart. I say, hey, forget about you? What are you talking about? I was out there yesterday protesting for you. He goes, you were? I said, yeah. I said, I drove those 4.5 hours each way to stand for you and stand for everybody else. Amen. His whole demeanor changed. Just that little bit of love and support made so much difference to him. That's right. You know, so believe me, I have my days. My daughter saw me break down this morning when I pulled off that freeway. But then I hear the stories, you know, of like her loved one getting enhancements removed, or hearing my friend Roy's voice over the phone. And that's what keeps pushing me to fight, you know, knowing that these guys and these women need to come home. And I made a post yesterday on We Are the Voices. And I'm at the point in my life, I don't care if I offend you by speaking the truth. I'll never disrespect you, but I will stand for what I believe. And I'll tell you, ladies, I'll tell you, men, you cannot sit there and complain about what's not being done if you're not taking part of the fight. So I'm telling everybody, you either hop on board and join the fight and speak up, because there's so many ways you can do it. You don't have to be here present, because I know a lot's going on, but sharing the word, supporting your loved ones, supporting our work, you know, there's so much you can do. A little goes a long ways. But if you're not on this for the long haul, get the hell out of the way so we can do what we need to do. Because too much needs to be done, and the time is ticking for our loved ones. I know I want my loved ones home. I want to have time with them. I don't want them to keep living this horrible life. You know, and I don't want your guys' loved ones either. But after these protests, we're going to keep pushing. We're going to push on the board, start releasing more people, making changes, stop calling everybody a violent offender. You know, it's just, there's too much to be worked on, and we got to keep pushing. So if there's a prison out next to you, go support them. Take an hour out of your day. Or share it on social media. That's right. We have to keep the movement going. Like I said, follow the We Are the Voices, and as well follow United Against CDCR. If you want the truth about what's going on in the system, that's the best group to follow. If you guys need any contact information, like she said, reach out to her, reach out to United Against CDCR, reach out to us. We will get that information for you. But do the work yourself. You know, we have to put in effort. Anybody can talk the talk. You got to step up and walk the walk.
That's right. That's right.
Now is the time for change. We've got movement. Let's keep it going.
Woo! All right. That's right.
I love you guys all. I really do.
Real quick, y'all, I just want to make a quick announcement. I make the flyest mask, right, for your loved ones. And my shirts, they are not an iron-on whatsoever. It's sublimation printer and heat press, and it becomes part of the material. So you don't have to worry about washing and it peels off. It's actually part of the material. My masks are hella dope. Like, it is the material. And it's of your loved ones. If you look right there, I made her mask and it's so pretty. Right? I made her mask. So y'all hit me up. I do mask, and I'm going to get a price out there for you so y'all can all come to all these protests and look as fly as me. Just to let y'all know. Okay, I'm done.
I'm here because my fiance is here in Soledad. He was part of the 3 a.m. raid that took place. It was about 150 to 200 blacks only, snatched out of their cells at 3 a.m. in the morning. Didn't even get a chance to grab their masks. Some of them didn't have shoes. They ended up zip-tied in the chow hall, sitting on the floor for hours as the SEALs went through all their stuff, wearing the same gloves, and questioned them one by one. So they sat on that floor for about 6-7 hours as each person was individually questioned about Black Lives Matter.
That's what they were questioning about the BGF and the Black Lives Matter movement. So tell me it wasn't racially biased is BS. I wrote the ombudsman, excuse my language, but this bitch had the nerve to write me back saying it wasn't racially violent, that all safety and protocol was followed, and that the warden oversaw the whole thing. I know they brought in Monterey County Sheriff's Department, which is an outside agency, and we know that's the only way it's getting in here. So that's why I'm here. He's in on 2 25 to life sentences on a 3rd strike for a nonviolent felony. His first 2 strikes were juvenile before the 3rd strike even came about. And you don't get a jury trial when you're a juvenile. So it's unconstitutional. It's inhumane.
Now, youth offender doesn't apply to him, right?
No.
Right. And that's what we need to change as well.
Yeah,
Youth offender should be
exactly.
across the board. It doesn't matter if you got 1 or 3 strikes. It should be youth offender.
Yeah. So that's why I'm here. I've known him for 30 years. We've been off and on. We've been official now for 2 years, and gonna get married, and I'm just here for him.
Anybody else want to say anything before we head over? There you go.
And really quickly, if you guys think the ombudsman is for you guys, they're not. They get cut in the same way CDCR gets cut. What we need to push for is a third party and oversight for CDCR. Ombudsman is in the same bed, lays in the same bed as CDCR. They will always side with them. The same copy and paste email that she received was the same copy and paste email that the warden sent out. They are not here for your incarcerated loved ones. Do not let them fool you.
That's right.
So you see us over there, I just want to say we love our loved ones and we're going to come back and we're going to keep coming back till they come home.
Until you hear us.
Free our loved ones. Let them go.
Let them go. Let them go.
Let them go. Let them go. Let them go.
Let them go. Let them go.
Let them go. Let them go.
Let them go. Let them go. Let them go.
Let them know we'll be at Salinas next week, Jamestown this week, in Folsom, and we keep coming for you till change is made.
That's right.